morning, everyone. Yes, I'm downing a jug of water, a gallon jug of water. I left my bottle upstairs. I forgot it. I didn't want to bring it down, go back up. But yeah. So, how is everybody this fine afternoon at this point? At least here it's afternoon. My hair is a wreck. Took a shower last night, so it's all like poof. But yeah, so today's plan may have changed a bit. My plan of the day was to get in that sewing room and work on something. Think that's currently out for the moment. I woke up. Well, this is first off. We went out to dinner last night, and Hannah decided, hey, I kind of want to go out. I want non-American food. I just want to eat something really good. Let's go to dinner. So they said, seeing as we're always picking the place, let's do Brit's choice that she always gives us, which is my favorite Mexican restaurant, Acapulco. And it's fantastic. I love them to death. They're very quaint and quiet and simple, but their food is good. I always get the same thing because they make this amazing dish called burritos carne asada, which is typically served with a green enchilada sauce. I don't like green sauces, so I actually get it with queso instead of the green sauce, and it's the most amazing thing in the world. It's fantastic. I love it to death. And we also decided last night to get a pitcher of margaritas instead of buying everybody individual ones. It ended up being cheaper that way. I drank about half the pitcher. And this is the first time I would ever really truly consider myself at all hungover, but it's not really hungover. I'm just tired. I didn't get to sleep as early as I would have liked to last night. It was around 3-ish that I finally fell asleep, which we're working on schedule again now that we have my crib back up. And so I woke up at 11:15. Just like, huh? I slept through a phone call at 10. I was out until 11:15 when I don't know what woke me up, but I woke up. So I got up, made my coffee. But I also had to deal with the whole rent issue this morning. And this was before coffee. I wanted to get that done immediately, figure out what was the problem. We figured out what was going on, and they should be taking off our late fees, and we'll be paying them tonight. I don't know why. Like, it returned the e-check basically, which it shouldn't have because there was plenty of money in that account at the time. So for some reason, the bank kicked it back. Not totally sure why. So we're just going to go pay it by check tonight. If we can find the check. Otherwise, Andrew has to go to the bank. But got that worked out, figured out what was the problem. Everything's good. And so now I'm finally, I've had my coffee, and I'm still in the process of sort of waking up. Andrew just came home from work for a few minutes because his bed arrived, or their bed arrived. They bought a purple mattress, and oh my God, just feeling it with my hand, I'm like, oh shit, this is going to be an amazing mattress. I'm very looking forward to sampling it and testing it out because in the future, that's probably what I'm going to be getting. Because I do have a lot of heat regulation issues. I have a really hard time, if I'm cold, I have a hard time getting warm. Or if I'm hot, it's hard to get cool. Sometimes, and there's other times where I'm really cold, I put a blanket on, and then all of a sudden I'm sweating hot. So my temperature regulation is not real great, and having a mattress that helps with airflow is really good. And we've kind of landed on the purple mattresses as our choice. Andrew and Hannah just bought theirs. It's amazing. He just set it up because it does take 72 hours for everything to finally poof up all the way. So yeah, which is kind of ridiculous when you think about it, because now they're gonna have to sleep on the couch for the week, for the next couple of days. But either way, that's all set up. And so he came home and did that. And also I opened up my package from Walmart because it did end up arriving today instead of tomorrow, which made me super happy. So as I said yesterday, I got the romper from Walmart, and I'm super excited. I did try it on. It fits. It's a little bit of a snug fit, which I kind of expected. I was hoping it would run a little bit bigger. Um, so it's a little teeny bit of a snug fit. Unfortunately, they don't offer the next size up. So I'm kind of stuck with it. And if it shrinks too much in the washing process, I'm probably going to go ahead and put it literally only needs like a couple extra inches on each side. So like inch or two strip along the side seams that either coordinates or something like that, so that it's so that it fits a little bit better. And that's something I can do lickety split. It does not have a snap crotch, of course, because ideally this is not an AB thing. Yes, most of the time when this type of thing is made, it's very much geared toward ABs. I mean, come on, the dinosaurs it's a very juvenile print, but a lot of the ones they have are. That being said, so far I like the fit of this. It is a Walmart item, so chances are it's only going to last about a year. It's definitely not like fantastic quality like I have and stuff like that. So, but the goal of this was to see what's out there for a really cheap price. This was $15. So it's in the wash right now. I'm going to maybe dry it. I might hang dry it. I don't know yet. If I do that, I'm going to put it outside because it's really warm and sunny outside right now. So it should dry up, no problem. And see how it fits after that. Hey, Eric, welcome in. If it doesn't fit right, then I spend a couple of bucks and go get some knit that matches it and put it together. I don't think I have a knit on hand that would actually match it right now. Otherwise, I would just do that. But literally, I need I freaking just need like a 2-inch strip on each side. So like if I buy a 6 or 7, like what I would do is buy a quarter yard of fabric that's like 60 wide and sew that in. It's really fast and really easy. So that's what I would probably do. And I probably will give it a couple of inches just to have enough really room in it. And I tried it with a very wet diaper, no bra on. So yeah. But I think I think it's gonna work. And there will be a review coming on it. What day is this? Monday? Probably in the next few days. So I just want to see how much it shrinks the first time, which is why I did try it on. It was a little tight to get it up over me, just because I ideally would be in the next size up, but they didn't have them in the next size up. So my next thing I'm going to do when I can is there's one on Amazon that I really want to try out. That's similar in price range. So I'm going to definitely give that one a try too when I have the money. So yeah, see how that goes. Hey, Jimmy. Kitty and Birdie are chilling. Jimmy just had fresh food and ate and played. Snitch is sound asleep. He actually got annoyed at me for petting him because he is sound asleep right here. Oh, in his favorite bed. This bed is like his most favorite thing. And it kind of makes me laugh because in the old house, he loved to be on the dryer all the time. He doesn't seek it out anymore. But he does still have a bed on there just in case. And he does go on there every now and then. He has another bed that used to be his favorite bed until this one came around. And this bed was, my mother-in-law purchased it for their dog, and she decided to just leave it behind when they moved. I didn't even wash it at first. Like the cat just adopted it. And I'm like, I'm going to wash it because it was stinky from the dog and all that. And I'd rather he have his own fresh scent in there. So I washed it, and he's still absolutely, like, hands down, even though he has an exact replica on the dryer, this is his favorite bed. And he's very, very picky about this bed. He used to like having a blanket in bed with him. Nope. He just wants the bed. He just wants the bed. He actually got pissed off yesterday because he went to get in the bed, and his pink blankie, this is typically his favorite blankie, this fuzzy one like this, it was in the bed, blocking the fleece part. And he was not a happy camper about that. So I had to remove it He'll sleep in there with it on top of him or next to him, but there has to be an open spot on the bed, which is really weird because he used to love the blanket. Um, but he has readopted a blanket that is upstairs, which is going to stay upstairs for now because he sleeps on it every single night. He's very, very attached to that blanket. He's a weird cat. He has comfort objects for sure. So, but now I'm just kind of sitting here. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I don't know if I have the energy to go in and mess with my sewing room today. I'm waiting for something to arrive, which should be in the mail today. I don't have a key to the mailbox. I can't really walk up there right now. Anyway, it's too hot. I don't know. Hey Siri, what is the temperature outside?
It's about 89 degrees outside.
It's September, guys, and it's 89. Kansas for you. Oh, this is one of my stickers of my artwork. This is Kai. So it's too hot for me to walk up there right now because basically we live in the very back of the complex and the mailboxes are almost at the front. So it's a little too much walking for me on a hot day. Excuse me. But I don't know. I have to clean up my living room a bit. That was one request Daddy made, was to get this room cleaned up, even though 90% of the mess is theirs. Well, that's not true. Today it is kind of me. They did clean up a little bit this morning, which is good. But I want to get the living room looking fairly decent for Daddy because that helps him out a lot. Is when his living room is clean, he's a lot calmer. Oh yeah. So those of you who heard, Andrew had gotten stung on the eyebrow by a wasp. He did finally find the nest and get revenge on them. And though he got stung by a wasp simply walking or driving by it on the lawnmower or something like that. Like it was completely unprovoked. This wasp just was like, his eyes swelled up, or his whole face swelled up huge. But it was a delayed swelling. The first day it was fine. The second day it started swelling. He woke up with it almost swelled shut. He's not having an allergic reaction, really. His mom is allergic to bees and wasps and stuff. He's not having an allergic reaction with this one. However, the way it works with wasps and bees is it's exposure based. The more you're exposed to it, the more allergic you are. So his next one, we need to watch out for really closely, just in case, because he did swell up so much. And it's natural for the eye to swell like that. When you have an injury to the eye, the whole face swells. But today it's looking so much better. Yesterday it was pretty swell in the morning. Today it's looking better. Oh, Gummy Pom Pom. Yeah, I think I know who she is. I think she's the dark-haired girl. I've seen her stuff. She has a real high voice. That's a funny, like, it kind of cracks me up because, so in the AB community, the women, it's very rare that a woman has a more tomboy male side. It's usually, it's more common for the men to have a girly side than the women to have a tomboy side. So me being the female with a male little side is really weird to me. In a way, it's very natural to me. It's very natural to me. I have always been a tomboy. I'm borderline like transgender, even though I'm not feeling like I should be a boy necessarily. I feel like I want to live more of a male life. I don't necessarily want to have a penis and all that. I don't, I'm not going to go change my gender markers and all that crap. I'm not going to change my name legally because that would break my mother's heart. Her and I have talked about it a lot, and that type of thing would break her heart. I do, however, really want to at the very least have breast reduction surgery. I would like to go complete top, no boobs, but I'm not sure that's going to happen ever. But it would be like just the most wonderful thing to at least go down to a much smaller size chest. I am on a very high end chest. Like it's hard to find bras in my size, which is fucking. But unfortunately, most of my family was blessed with massive chests. I have at least two of my other sisters, so three of us have very large chests. One has very tiny, and then the other one's kind of in between the two. It's weird because like none of my mom's siblings, they don't all have massive boobs, but in my family, we got the boobs. It's annoying as fuck when you're somebody with me, like me, who is like just annoyed with my chest all the time. I'm especially annoyed with my chest during little time. Um, so my options are kind of, in order to make myself feel a little more masculine, I am looking at things. You got into that at the perfect moment. I'm glad, V. Hi, by the way. For me, I'm not gonna bind because I feel like my chest is just too big for that to be comfortable at all. But um, if I can confine a little bit more with the proper sports bra, then I'll be fair. I do so much better like that than I do just in a normal bra. So I have a sports bra that I like. It's just too small, so I've got to go up a size. I ordered it on Amazon. Um, kind of, I had gone up a bra size at the same time as I ordered this one, and I didn't know it, so it was too small. So I do need to order next month a new bra. So Bink is not a super soaker bab. I just changed. But yeah, so for me, it is very dysphoric. It's annoying in real life, guys. It's annoying in real life. That's why I don't wear a bra very often, because it's actually a very painful thing. The bigger your boobs are, the harder it is to wear a bra. And I've had this one guy that constantly comments, "Why aren't you wearing a bra in your videos? That's disgusting." Number one, you're a sexist pig. And number two, because it hurts. Wearing bras to support boobs that weigh at least 5 pounds a piece. We're talking 5 to 10 pounds a piece. Imagine that. It's like having a freaking cantaloupe on your chest. Imagine the weight on your shoulders trying to hold that up. It's heavy. It hurts. It's painful. So yes, I let them hang. My battery is dying. No, you're not. You're perfectly fine. Shut up. I'll in a minute. I'll get to you. But so I get very annoyed when guys be like, "You should wear a bra." No. If a woman does not want to wear a bra, she shouldn't have to. Now, if I go out in public, yes, I'm gonna wear a bra because it just looks kind of weird to me with my boobs hanging and to and fro and whatnot. If you're going out, at least wear a sports bra. Something. Keep them a little bit contained. Um, Not just for other people, but for yourself, because it's going to be more comfortable once you're walking and moving around. If I'm moving around a lot and I'm like cleaning and stuff, I'm going to put a bra on because that hurts. They sag and move and blah. But as my little side being male, it's very dysphoric about I don't give a shit about my crotch, but my boobs I am really dysphoric about my boobs when I'm in little space. I hate them being touched. I hate looking at them. They get in the way. So if I put a sports bra on, I am less likely to have those dysphoric thoughts. And because for my little side, authenticity is everything, the boobs are a problem. But wearing a sports bra greatly reduces that dysphoria. So yeah, it's interesting. Being dysphoric as a little is really weird. To me personally, like I can understand. I do at times get dysphoric about my body. Like my body is a very female, curvy body. There's zero male to that, unfortunately, except for this. Like if you only saw this, I could easily go one way or the other. But this does not help. And with the weight gain lately, it's been really good. Oh goodness sakes, no hiccups, please. Those hurt. With the weight gain lately, it's been really hard. Over the last year and a half, I have gone from being about 200 pounds to being almost 300, sometimes over 300. So it's been really hard for me dealing with that. And it's finally getting to the point where I've gone from, hey, I am what I am, to this is hurting me physically. This is not a good thing. And I'm trying to figure out ways. I actually need to schedule a doctor appointment as soon as I can look at Hannah's schedule for PT and stuff and figure out what she's going to do there. I'm going to make an appointment with my doctor and discuss the options, because I do need to see a nutritionist, because I'm not getting great nutrition at all. Eating one meal a day, not a good nutritional thing. So I need to figure out, and I think my plan is going to be kind of go a little bit more of a, not a baby diet, but instead of like formulas and stuff, I'm not going to go with formula because it's gross. But doing things like a protein drink with a couple added things, into it to get me the nutritional needs in without without overloading my stomach, because I digest liquids a lot faster than I digest hard solid food. I don't like eating. I just don't. It's not anorexia or anything. It's literally just that my stomach does not have a desire for food, and it only, like, I get hungry for dinner, and that's it. Like, I'll get hungry during the day, but I'm like, nothing sounds good. I don't want to eat. It's just going to cause me to have, bleh. So I don't eat very much. And it's not good for my body, which is probably causing me to retain fat. So between that, I got to figure out some way of exercising that's not going to kill my body. With my back issues the way they are, I have to be careful, but I do still need to do the exercise. So I got to figure out a way I can exercise without hurting myself. I'm told when I'm supposed to eat. I'm having a very hard time with breakfast. Yes. Breakfast is the worst thing for me. I get up and I drink coffee. I'm trying to, like, I have yogurt in my fridge, and I love yogurt. I love yogurt. I love having bagels, but I don't get hungry until about 2:00, and then I'm like, oh, I could eat something. And then I eat it, and I'm like, why the fuck did I just eat this? It hurts. I also have a sliding hiatal hernia, which does affect, like, the reflux and stuff that I have is affected by that. But that's kind of why I wanted to possibly do like protein shakes in the morning or a smoothie type of thing. Anyway, V, that was really awesome, by the way, that you're getting away with pull-ups. Congratulations. That is awesome. My buddy on our incontinence group actually just told everybody, he's like, you notice I've been MIA. He talked to me about this a while ago. He's had a complete reversal of incontinence. He's gone through some spiritual things, working on chakras and body and all that. And through all of this, his incontinence has reversed, which is fantastic for him. Like, not many people can accomplish that. He had a stroke, which caused the incontinence, or I think he said 2. I don't know. But he's a really great guy. I love this guy to death. And if you're watching, Tony, hello. But he just announced that today. So, like, any improvement somebody can get, awesome. I wish I would get improvement, but at the same time, it's my life now. I would not have you guys. I would not have met you guys if I wasn't incontinent. So that's the reason I'm usually of the mindset that incontinence is a thing. I deal with it. And I've met a lot of really great people just because I was incontinent. So I don't wish it away. I don't, if that ever comes up, hey, you could become continent again with this type of thing, maybe. I'm not going to do surgery. I'm not going to do medication to change the incontinence, because we can't do surgery on me. We only do surgery if it's absolutely like life-threatening type of thing. Like, say I had a bowel blockage or something, we do surgery. We're not stupid. But for something as simple as bladder stuff, there's no need. There's zero need. And it would only cause more problems. So I don't want it. I would rather, my incontinence has brought me a whole new aspect of life. And in a way, I appreciate it. Because seriously, guys, I would not have met any of you if I was not incontinent. And so for me, the friends that I have made because of this, no, I wouldn't trade it. And that's kind of how I am with a lot of my experiences. Yes, I wish I didn't go through all this stuff medically, but at the same time, it's turned me into a more compassionate person. It's turned me into more of an advocate. it's given me a better understanding of what people go through that have chronic illnesses. Like, I've been able to put myself in some people's shoes with some things, or even say it's given me perspective on how good I have it. Like there's often times where I'm like, my body sucks. I'm so tired of this. It hurts. Why the fuck did this happen to me? But then again, I go and I watch something that kind of really impacted me the last couple of days. Is there was a girl who passed away a year ago. Her name was Claire Wineland, and she had cystic fibrosis. And she actually passed away following her lung transplant. Like 2 days after her lung transplant, she passed away from a stroke. I believe it was a stroke. But they just put out her documentary. And this girl, like, I didn't really see much of her, before she passed away, in all honesty, but her story is very, very, her story is very touching. And she said something in her documentary, because they did start it before she passed. Most of it was about her when she was alive. And, as she was growing up with cystic fibrosis, she's like, there's so many role models in the world, but there were no role models for those who are chronically ill. She's like, there was nobody out there that just encouraged and taught and helped people. Nobody famous, she meant. Like all the actors that we have that are, and the celebrities that are role models for people. And, she's like, there was nobody like what I needed. And she became that for everybody else. This girl was on oxygen most of her life, and she'd go to talks and do all these amazing talks for people. She started a foundation when she was like 13 because she saw a need. Because when you have cystic fibrosis, you're in and out of the hospital constantly. And, there were times where she was alone because her parents had to both work to be able to pay for everything. And she's like, there needs to be something for these families so that they can be with their kids and not have to worry about the money. And she started a foundation to help those families out during those times, which is amazing. It's amazing. And she did so much in 21 years. So much. And she was just very, very, like, she's like, there's more to life than just being sick. And even though we're sick, we can do so much. And I have always held that as a firm, not belief, but for me, it's always been the same thing. Yes, I am sick, but there is something I can do. I can take to YouTube and I can help those through the struggles. I can educate. I can give them tips. I can inform the rest of the public about things. Even when I started out with the, announcing the ABDL thing, like educating the public to this, showing them this is not it is a weird thing, but showing them that the truly little side of things is not that weird. And so that has always been my goal. And I've always said to my mom, I'm like, Mom, there's a reason that I personally have been given these struggles. It's been a family disease since my grandfather tracked it back several generations. It's been a family disease, but until it got to, like, my grandmother passed away, I think she was 40 something or 50 something. She passed away from this disease because she had a massive tumor in her abdomen that was an 18-pound tumor that they could not operate on. And she passed away from that. And so down the line, like my dad's siblings have all done relatively well. And then it comes to me and to a couple of my cousins that have it. They've struggled too. Me and my cousin have my other female cousin, the only other female cousin I believe that has it. Her and I kind of have some similarities that to my grandmother that are kind of creepy. So her and I have a very unique perspective on our disease. And at the same time, while I've dealt with so much from this disease, I'm also in a group for this disease on Facebook, and some of the people that struggle hardcore. And to me, these struggles that they're going through, I've kind of overcome in a way. Yes, I have a messed up gut. I can't eat certain things. If I eat them, I'm on the toilet all the time. I deal with butt burn, all this crap. But at the same time, I don't let those rule me. A lot of people, with the way things are, they go back to an ostomy because they're tired of this J pouch thing. And for me, it's like, no, I'm not going back to an ostomy purely because I have the really sensitive skin when it comes to adhesives. Having an adhesive that you're allergic to on your stomach at all times is not a, I was miserable. But would it change up something? Yes, I would no longer have incontinence, bowel incontinence. I would no longer have this weird digestive tract. I mean, it'd still be weird, but at the same time, like for me, this is how life is, and I am going to use these struggles for good. And that's what I've always done, and I've told my mom that from the beginning. It's like there was a reason I was given this disease. I always knew as a kid. I knew from the very time I knew about this disease that I was going to have it because I was the most like Dad. Um, I just knew. And I never worried about it. I never worried about it. When we got genetic tested, I'm like, I know I have it. I know I have it. I'm like, Dad, I'm going to have it. Sure enough, I'm the oldest one in my family to have it. My older sister does not. It's really weird because this disease every child has a 50-50 chance of having it. Um, Typically, the 50% of the children will have it. The funny thing is, my older sister, I have two older sisters, but one is not my father's. So my older sister does not have it. And then I have it. The next one does not have it. And then the youngest has it. It's so strange that it does that, but that's how it is in our family. And my younger sister has just done amazingly well with it. She, however, does still have a portion of her colon because she did not have enough intestine to complete the surgery that I had. So she will, if ever has to have a surgery again, probably they have to go with an ostomy, which would be many years down the road. Many years. You can go for, I mean, my dad was in his 50s before he had to have a J pouch done. So I had the J pouch fairly early on, because of the circumstances that went on. But I always knew. I told my mom from the beginning, I have this disease. And then when the struggles started happening, after I almost died and things like that, I'm like, Mom, I was given this for a reason. There's something that we cannot see right now that this disease is going to do in other people's lives. And she's always like, you were right. And she's great. She's like, I don't know how you can smile through life. And the nurses and doctors were always like, you're the most smiley patient we've ever had. Like, you are sitting here with a 10 level of pain, but you can still laugh at a joke and you can still smile. How? Why? Like, what the heck? And I'm like, I'm just not letting this get me. Yes, it is. It is interesting. I actually did a paper in college, my first year of college. I did a paper for extra credit on my genetic disease because he told us we had a thing. Anyway, so basically, the way it works is we have a gene deletion that runs in our family on my father's side, and that you have a gene that tells your body not to grow polyps in your colon. Ours is deleted. It's on the ACP gene or APC gene or something like that. I don't know. So it's really like it's way more complicated than I made it. But it's kind of funny because, my mom knew when she started having kids, there's a 50-50 chance for every child to have this. And we've noticed in my father's family that about 50% of the children will have it. My uncle has 3 children, 2 have it. My dad has 4 kids, 2 have it. My youngest uncle has 1 child. She does not have it. My aunt has a child, and I believe he has it. And it's kind of funny because it's been about the 50-50%, which is really weird. And me and my cousin, Jenny, have a added thing to this disease. We have on top of it something called Garner's syndrome. Garner's syndrome causes a lot of different things, primarily tumor growth. We get tumors, we get lipomas, we can have funky eye things. The eye thing, that's what kind of is interesting to me because thus far, I don't think my family has had any of the eye issues. Yeah, it's so weird. My sister has flown through this thing beautifully. Um, the FAP can cause things like your teeth can be weird. Like she had a tooth that grew in, an extra tooth, mind you, that grew in between her two front back teeth, back behind them, that had zero enamel on it. It looked like a popcorn kernel. I've never had any teeth issues except for I have a backwards molar, and it's just rotated 180 degrees, which is weird. So I have one backwards tooth, and I have not straight teeth and all that. But I've never had the issues that my sister had with her teeth. She had a tooth that didn't want to come in. She had the popcorn tooth, but she's never had the lipomas like I've had. She has an osteoma right on her chin, right here. And I think, or no, was it over here? I don't know. She had an osteoma, which is just the bone growth. I have one of those on my toe, I think. One of my toes has them. I have a desmoid tumor. I have lipomas. I actually have one in my stomach, which also can contribute to the eating thing, I'm sure. But I've had them removed. My wrists, as you see, there's a scar there and a scar. This one's harder to see, but there's a scar right there. I had cysts, what they thought were cysts. It's actually lipomas, and those grow around my body. I think only two of us in the family, since my grandmother, have had desmoid tumors. Don't quote me on that, but I don't know if my aunt has had desmoids. Honestly, I don't know. I don't talk to my father's side of the family really, so I don't know a ton. But I do follow my cousin, and she's had some struggles. So, but it's just been very interesting. Like, it's weird. My desmoid is very small, was very small at my last surgery. We have not investigated it in a while, which we probably need to do. Anyway, enough about my genetic disease. The whole thing I was saying this to is I'm using this as an educational purpose. I try to use my experiences in life to help other people. And I'm glad I hear from so many people. I am so thankful that my purpose has been, is being fulfilled. My purpose has always been to help others and to help others cope, help others understand what they're going through. And yeah. Anyway, I'm waiting. I'm anxiously waiting for this washer to get done so I can do the dryer and see how this romper comes out. I am super duper excited for it. I cannot wait. I sent Yuki the picture, but I'll show you guys the picture. Here's the picture of it. It's got dinos all over it. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, this is kind of an AB theme. Like, it just is. It's just kind of an AB theme. But, oh well. I'm going to check bank account real quick. Because I need to know this. I just need to make sure I know what's on there. Whoa. What came out? What came out? 22. Oh, Walmart. 22. Okay. That makes sense. $3.99 for Amazon because Andrew used my card for. Okay, that went in. Those came out. Okay, we're good. Dino. That is my theme. My dinos. I'm going to be starting to work on some concept art for my bedroom because I don't want to wait till we move to really start decorating it. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed, like that I get my Cricut for my birthday or Christmas or something, or combined gift. Like, get me the Cricut. Just give it. I will set aside cash for it. Let's do it. And I've convinced Andrew that regardless of cricket or not, I need to get an easy press so I can start making t-shirts so that this crap stops happening. So that the peeling stops happening. Granted, this peeling was crappy vinyl. So that I'm not at all surprised about. But the vinyl peeling is because the heat surfaces are not correct. So hope you're having a wonderful day. Have you heard of a product called Plexus? Energy. I've heard of something, so I think about Plexus. I am not Yuki. I actually need to go take some fiber soon. Something to do. If you guys have, if anybody has issues with a lot of like loose stool, get yourself some Metamucil and start taking it at least once a day. If not, I try to do it before I eat. Every time before I eat, and it greatly helps reduce the number one, reduce the acidity, and it helps firm things up. I'm messy, but only in the clumsy way. Same here. Okay, no, that's not true. I had a messy diaper the other day because Daddy said no potty. That's the only reason. I came very close yesterday. So we went out to Mexican restaurant, had drinks, and normally when we eat out, we come straight home because 99.9% of the time I have to go to the bathroom right away because I have to go within a half an hour. Half an hour to an hour. It depends on the meal. So yesterday Andrew needed some beard oils, and we needed Benadryl. So we went to Walmart afterwards. And thankfully, I was riding the scooter. Otherwise, it would have been very bad. Because walking and being upright is harder to control the bowel because of the gravity thing. But when we got home, but when we walked out of Walmart, I really had to go. And I'm like, oh crap. But I knew I was quickly going to sit down again and be okay. But when I got out of the car at home, oh my God, did I have to go. And I had to like clench my butt and walk in this weird position to get to the bathroom. What the heck is beard oil? So beard oils and beard conditioners or softeners. Because beards are often very wiry, not soft at all. They're very pokey. Conditioners and oils soften the hair, make it a little more nice. Also, the beard oil and stuff actually is for the skin as well because you're constantly, you wash your face and all that, but your skin underneath your beard is different because the oil is absorbed into the hair instead of into the face and all that. So it keeps the skin conditioned and the hair itself conditioned to be a softer thing. Andrew has an extremely wiry beard, very, very coarse, very, very pokey. And so he doesn't shave very often. He'll trim his beard up or he'll shave once every 2 months or something like that. He has not a very fast growing beard, so he can do that. But using the beard oils and the beard conditioners and stuff help the whole thing. And it makes it softer, it makes it more conditioned, it makes it easier to shave when you have your hair conditioned and your face conditioned. It makes it nicer. Especially if you're going to grow a long beard, it's very important to condition it and put the beard oils and conditioners on. They have special face wash that's just for people with beards. They have beard oils and things like that, beard conditioners that just make it softer. He loves it, and I like it. If I'm going to snuggle with Danny, I don't want his beard poking me all over the place. I'd rather it's a softer hair. It's never going to be soft as head hair, but having a softer facial hair is way better than not. I think I'm going to have to take Dramamine. But yeah, I'm trying to kind of decide what to do here, guys. I feel like I should do something. other than just cleaning up my living room, which I have several hours to do so. Whoops. I still have several hours that I can do that before Daddy gets home. But I'm trying to determine if I have the energy to do it. Love the beard scruffies. I always hated it. I much prefer Andrew clean shaven, but he doesn't like shaving. He wants to get a safety razor, and then he'll probably do it more often. But he doesn't like shaving very much, which is okay. It's his face. Every now and then he'll shave, and then just like the smoothness. I love it. Because like he'll blow on my belly or something, and it's just this pokey hair all over my belly, and it does not feel good. It just doesn't. So something I am contemplating, since I read you guys that story like last week or something, I'm actually contemplating for purposes to help Daddy. I am wanting to write something, I think, which would be interesting. I haven't written in a long time. Long time. I've written like journal entries and things like that, but not actually sat down and written something. Like I want to give him an example of kind of the perfect little night for me. And kind of help him. He tends to be paralyzed because he's like, I don't know what to do with you. Like, you're so. The thing he told me the other day that, like, he's like, with Zelly, it's about, different things. And, like, while she has a traumatized little side in a way, he's like, I know she'll be okay. And I know it won't hurt her. But he's like, you're like glass. Your little side is like glass. One thing can easily break and damage you. He's like, take spanking, for instance. One moment it can be you're fine, and the next moment you're having PTSD. It's like, you're so fragile. Your little side is just so genuine and so fragile that I'm terrified I'm going to break it. And for me, I know exactly what needs to be done because I am so used to childcare and taking care of children that I know what I would need to do if I was the big of a little like this. Andrew has not been around children. He was around one child growing up, really, that he had, was old enough to realize, older enough. No. His neighbor had a baby who is now 15. So like when Andrew was like 13 or so, they had a baby. And so knowing he doesn't know how to care for a child. He's the oldest. His brother was 18 months younger than him. He never had the baby thing whatsoever, whereas that has been such a huge part of my life from very early on that I know. Plus, I've taken child development courses and things like that. So for me, knowing how to take care of a baby is super, like, I know exactly what to do. If a baby is fussing, you figure it out. Do they need to change? Do they need to eat? Are they tired? Are they bored? Or do they just need snuggles? So like for me, it's like, okay, let's check the diaper. Let's check the time, see if this baby's ready to eat. Maybe they just need some soothing. So let's cuddle and have a binky, maybe they're bored. Let's get out some toys and play. Andrew doesn't understand that. And that's what we're working toward with him, because I told him my little side is seeking authenticity and peace, because when I am truly little, I need my body, my mind, my life to just be authentic and peaceful. That is what helps me. Peace for me is also not having to worry about watching my diaper, things like that. And we're also discussing options of how to involve Kai, aka my little side, in puppy time. Because that's always been our struggle, is my little side especially struggles when Daddy goes puppy, because I'm so used to Daddy. And I see Daddy. So when Daddy is puppy, I'm like, ah. And me and Zelly have actually talked about it before. Like, okay, Zelly is like, I'm willing to try and see if we can work your little stuff into things. Oh, that's good, you Avi. She's like, I'm willing to try some things. There's some things that I really would love to have from a mommy type person that she is probably not willing to go for at this point. but I do want to possibly work on that. Me and Zelly do not have a romantic connection at the moment at all. We have more of a sister connection, but we're open to the possibilities. And I think we just have to allow our brains to get past that. And we're also open to the possibility that maybe there's a fourth person that needs to come in to be my mommy or my daddy on top of Andrew. Because Andrew and I, we have a very weird relationship in this household. While it's technically a polyamorous relationship and technically he's my boyfriend, we have more of our love is not necessarily a romantic love. We are very connected at our souls. We are soulmates in a way, but we're not necessarily romantic. And we've just decided we're not using labels on our relationship. We're together. We're technically a couple. And that's what we call ourselves to people. But at the same time, our relationship is much more, he's my daddy than he's my boyfriend. I am not sexually inclined. I'm attracted to Andrew. I think he's absolutely freaking adorable. And yes, I'm attracted to him. And so, but, labeling it as, oh, you're a platonic, you're just friends that live together, or you're in a relationship, and you're boyfriend and girlfriend, no matter what. That's where we differ. Andrew and Hannah are very much so boyfriend and girlfriend. The plan is for those two to get married, because I personally don't believe that marriage is the thing for me. I've seen too many failures. I don't want to do that. I would like to break this cycle of craziness in my family where everybody gets divorced. I don't want to deal with that pain. I've seen my mother go through it. I've seen family members go through it. I don't want that. I'm never going to want to get married, I don't think. And if I do, it's for the sheer purpose of like, okay, we're married legally. But for the purposes of heart, no, I don't want to deal with that. So for me and Andrew, it's a very strange connection and a very strange relationship. And when we were struggling before even Allie came into the picture, we had a few years where we were really good, and then we had a couple of years where it's just like it was not great. We weren't getting along very well and things like that. And it's because we had this label that we were trying to live up to. And we decided to ditch that. We're going to live our lives. We are who we are. Our relationship is what it is, and there's no label to it. No, I don't have sex with anybody in this household. But do I want to live away from Andrew? No. Do I want to live away from Hannah? No. I always want them to be part of my family that I live with. So if we ever do bring a fourth person into this, for any reason, they have to be fully okay with this. And thus far, the fourth editions have been kind of somebody that we're all connected to. But Andrew's like, if there's ever a man or a woman who you connect with on a mommy, daddy, love relationship side of things, fine. He's like, I would never send you away, and I love you to death, and I will always love you no matter what. He's like, but I don't want you to close off your mind because of our relationship the way it is. It's like, I want you to be open. And in my heart, I know I always want to live with Andrew because I love him as a human. He's my person, and I want to be with my person. But is there possibly another person for me that can be incorporated? Heck yeah. There's things that I would love to get from a mommy that daddy cannot give. There's things that maybe there's another daddy out there. Maybe I have two daddies. I don't know. It's just an interesting thing to think about. And that's why, my mind is always open to that. And our minds are always open to that. We're a polyamorous family. We're not nailed down to one person or two person or three person even. That's totally open. Everybody is allowed to have who they want. Hannah knows for a fact she wants one. She wants Andrew. Andrew knows for a fact that, hey, I have loved more than one person at a time. And I'm sure I will again. So for him, 3 is not a problem. 4 is not a problem, depending, so long as he can appropriately spread his time. Hi, DG. Welcome in. We're having a weird conversation, by the way. But that's where polyamory is so interesting, guys, because number one, it doesn't nail you down to a specific person, but the commitment level that comes with it has to be very strong. You know, like Andrew and I are very committed to each other, but we're also open to the fact that, well, I mean, he has two girlfriends, so obviously I'm open to that fact, and he's open to the fact, like, if you want a girlfriend or a boyfriend that is, more mommy and stuff like that when I'm not around, fine, mommy or daddy or whatever. I'm open to either one. There are things that I would like to get from a mommy. Most of you could probably guess it, but there are things that mommies cannot that can offer that daddies cannot. Um, there's just a more softer connection, I guess, with a mommy than there would be a daddy, because daddies are a whole different ballgame. The world slowly falls in love with you all, and we all date all parties interested. Yes. Um, one of the things that we've been talking about lately. Thankfully, Zelly doesn't really watch my channel. Um, One of the things, Andrew and I had a conversation the other day because he's like, I've thought about it. Like, I've thought about proposing lately. Like, I'm kind of thinking that within the next year that's going to happen, if not sooner. He's like, but I will not do it until you're okay with it. And my biggest fear in this whole thing has always been, once they go to that step, will it change? Will Hannah's attitude change toward me? Will his attitude change toward me? And he said, I was like, I can reassure you that it will never change for me. Like, he's like, I'm mostly doing this for Hannah because Hannah's come from a Christian family where marriage is an important thing. She wants to give her sister kind of eloped and divorced and all this. And so she's like, I want to give my parents that daughter wedding experience. So marriage for her is an important thing. And for Andrew, he's like, it's a special thing, but he's like, I can kind of go one way or the other. Um, for me, he's like, I've known for you that it's a thing you do not want. And he's like, I don't think we could have, it's like, I don't think we would have ever gotten to that step even without him. So for me, that's been the struggle. Like, is it going to change? Is she going to suddenly become the wife and pull the I'm his wife card, And he's like, I won't ever let that happen. He's like, the minute that happens, he's like, you can bet I will stomp my foot. I will put my foot down and I will shut it down right then and there, because he's like, just because I'm married to her does not mean anyone has more pull or has more say or is more important. Um, yeah. Um, Polyamory is not for everybody. My mother is polyamorous, but my mother is polyamorous in a way that she is more like, I can have more than one boyfriend. I don't know that she could ever have everybody live together. For me, for us, polyamory is about being committed to more than one person. We have love for more than one person, but we want that to be a family unit. Anybody that comes into this house has to be part of that family unit. And whether or not somebody comes in and is Andrew's boyfriend or girlfriend, or is my boyfriend and girlfriend and not his, either way, we are a family unit. We work together. We pool everybody's resources together. Yes, they're in separate accounts, and we know, okay, so we know Hannah's paycheck goes to grocery shopping. Anders pays rent and bills. Mine pays the little things here and there. And we have that talk before somebody joins. This is how our life works. Your money is your money, yes, but at the same time, we have a family unit. So if something is going on in that family unit that needs funds from a specific place, we discuss which place we're going to get that from, who has the funds for that, things like that. We know that a lot of times Christmas shopping comes off of Hannah's paychecks. I do get platonic siblings, so yes, I have one sibling that is not part of this family unit. I've known this person for many, many, many years. And I've actually met him long before I met Andrew, I would say. I've known Andrew since 2012, January of 2012, I think. This person I met before that. I met this person over on, I think it was frickin' Diaper Space. way, way long ago, before I even got into ADISC. Andrew and I met through ADISC, by the way. And he and I have never been in, like, this guy and I have never been like, oh, we're thinking about a relationship, but he's definitely my big brother, and we discuss and we talk like we're siblings, and he's my big brother that hands down would take care of me if he was here. If he was the one here, he would take care of me, and he's super sweet. I adore him. And it's not like we constantly talk, but when we do, it's just like we are just it's really great. And there's never been that, like, Andrew and I have talked, and he's like, if that's ever a thing, let me know. Let us know. We'll talk about it. And I'm like, I don't feel that way toward them, but if it was a case, it was a case. And he's like, if you have, we know, like, if I have a connection to somebody like that who we want to bring into this family, it's always open. That channel is always open for every single one of us. Zelly is more like, I don't mind my boyfriend having more than one girl or guy or whatever. She's like, I know I will stay committed to him though. And in a way, she's just as committed to me. Me and Hannah have our arguments and stuff like that, but in the end, her and I are best friends. We are, very, very close. We care deeply for each other, even though it's not a romantic relationship. Um, you know, but there's possibility that maybe she can do the mommy thing for me. I don't know. It's a weird situation. Like, it's something we've just discussed. Yes, sisters, but in a way, like, it's like sisters, but it's kind of a different type of connection. Like, it's different, somewhat. And there's no label I can put on it other than, like, she's Andrew's boyfriend. She's not my girlfriend, but she is a very close person in my life. Um, there's things I talk to her about that I wouldn't talk to my sisters about. Although me and my sister, especially me and my sister Jenna, can pretty much talk about anything. My mom and my sister Jenna, we can talk about anything we want. My mom is zero judgment. My mom is a wonderful person. I could not ask the world for a better mother. Um, you know, uh, and the fact that since my mother has divorced my father, she's been able to open up about what she truly feels and cares about, and doesn't care about. Like when she was with my father, yes, she was very shut down about the ABDL lifestyle. My god sister, I'm not sure what you mean by that. But we're gonna go do my laundry real quick. But since my mother divorced my father, um, she is very open about the ABDL lifestyle with me. Like, she'll talk about it, and she's perfectly okay with all of it. She has no judgment toward me at all. Sorry about the light flashing. Come on. I hate this light. Oh, shit. Forgot I did laundry yesterday. Let's quick fold this up. My one pair of good pants. Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. I'm not sure what you meant by God sister, but, either way, her and I are just great. Zelly and I are great friends. I don't know there's no problem with you saying that. I just don't know what it means. I'm not sure. Do you mean like, I'm not understanding what you mean by that. I would love to be educated. Oh, God, mother. Oh, okay. Kind of, in a way. Kind of, but different. It's not something we put labels on. We just don't. I was wondering where all my shirts went. I forgot I washed them. I forgot I did laundry the other day. I washed up my comfy pants and I washed up my khakis. Don't look at my kitchen. Oh, you can't see my kitchen. Good. I'm like, it's messy as fuck. Oh, the nauseousness is hitting me. It's not because I'm hungry either. It's just because my stomach is a bitch. Is this toothless? No. This is Harry Potter. This is fandom. Oh no, I'm not mad at all. I am not mad at all. I just didn't understand what you meant by it. But, God sister, yes. Yeah, I can understand that. She's just the thing. It's just the thing. We don't put a label on our relationships here. We just don't. Because there's not always a label that can explain it. I'm actually proud of myself. I washed all my shirts inside out this time. With the vinyl ones, you're supposed to wash them inside out. And I actually did that. I'm shocked. It was funny yesterday. So we were in the Walmart parking lot, and Andrew said something about, "Ooh, I like that aquamarine car over there." And I didn't watch this one inside out. And the artist in me is like, nope, you cannot call that color aquamarine because that is not aquamarine. And it spurred this color debate. And I'm like, you're looking at the color you're thinking is cerulean. And aquamarine is more like this. And then it spurred color is a lie. Just, we call a certain color, but really that color could look completely different to anybody else. I'm like, okay, guys, you know what I mean? Leave the artist alone. Let the artist be a color snob. What did he send over here? House. Oh shit! I'm gonna have to look at that. So you guys want to see a quick sneak peek of the romper? Make sure. I had to wash Andrew's bedding because they got their new mattress. Well, he brought it down. But you guys want to see a quick? Oh, that feels good. Ooh, I'm glad I watched that with time. This is a quick sneak peek of the romper. It has a hood, by the way. I really don't want this to shrink. I think I'm gonna hang this one up to hang outside. So give me a second. I'm gonna go find it. And I'm actually just gonna go put this outside on my chair. Oh, there we go. Ooh, it's warm out there today. Hi, kitty. Hello. Wow. All right. Hello, Binky Butt. Oh, hey, Binky Butt. Yes, my butt. I am not wearing pants. That's why I'm excited about this romper, though, because I'm going to be making myself some. This has spurred the need to make some rompers, especially for myself, because I don't like to wear pants. They bug my waist. They cause my back to have issues. So wearing a one-piece thing is great. That way I can be in that, and I'm in a shirt, and I'm technically in pants. And it's fantastic. I'm going to take some Dramamine. Binky Butt is good, but. And that's kind of like I've learned, I don't know, this is a weird thing, okay, guys? This is a really weird thing to me. So you all know that I have changed my little side, not purposely, but my little side has changed over the last couple of months. I have become Kai. Kai is a very different little than Chloe was. Chloe was kind of my scared, traumatized side. Kai is much more open to a lot of things. Kai is much more, here's my diaper and I don't give a shit than Chloe was. Like, Kai is more interested in being possibly a little more open about things. Not in public per se, but kind of in public. Like, willing to be treated more of a child in public. Things like that. Kai is just a very different little side. And it was always there. Don't get me wrong. This is not just a transformation. This is just me saying, Daddy, this is who I am. I am not Chloe. Chloe has been a mask for Kai. Kai is different. And that's what I've been trying to teach Andrew. Is like, Kai is open to a lot more shit. Yes. I hate putting a pill on my mouth and getting that taste. Absolutely hate it. I also do have some issues with swallowing right now. That's kind of a newer development for me. And so putting the water in first helps. I have to go look at this Telegram message from Daddy. Oh, come on. I hate this. I turn the blue light filter off on my tablet during the day. I hate it. Daddy's like, you need to use your blue light filter at night. My body rejects liquid medicine. I would die. My body loves. Ugh. The title of this is BDSM Black and White Cute Me quote, but the title on here is House Rules. If I tell you what to do, you say yes, sir. That is something we're working on. That is something I need from Daddy, and we're actually going to do it at some point. Do not give a shit. Just no. Okay, got it. Oh, it was just that. Okay. It tastes like weird soup. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Why is it not? Where is the sticker thing? I'm very confused by this because it's different. Let me close it out and pull it back up. Hannah's that way with stuff like she hates liquid medications. Okay, why am I not getting my sticker button? I'm very confused by this. Stickers. There we go. That evokes a humph face. I mean, it invokes a blushy, but it also invokes a humph. It's that's weird. Yes, DG, I hate that. That is how my room is right now. Humph and a blushy and humph, and I need another blushy one. Which maybe this is blushy one. Is there a blushy one on here? I already said that one. I need a blushy one. I really need to draw a Telegram sticker pack for myself. Oh, man. Speaking of cleaning up. Oh my god, I didn't even start the dryer. Be right back. And then I'm gonna clean. So you guys can watch me clean up my room. Okay. All this has to be cleaned up. Hi, Snitch. Would you like some food? Hey, buddy. Oh, watch it. I know you're starving. This is a really. Hey, how you doing, Kevin? Long time no see. We're cleaning up right now. I hate doing this, but oh well. Daddy says, therefore I do. Doing great. Yeah, I started watching your video on West Coast Jungle Gym last night, and I haven't finished it yet because I had to go to bed. I'm jealous. My greatest desire is to go to a AV convention, and for reasons I cannot, unfortunately, most of the time. They loaded this in. Okay. Hey Troy, welcome in. What I am doing right now is just combining my Benadryl stuff into one bottle. It's a lot easier for me to deal with that way. Oops. But yeah, I'm sure. I've heard that those are pretty exhausting. Because of the seizures and stuff, I'm not able to go unsupervised to something like that. And I have to also have somebody I can travel with. So I either drive or fly with somebody so that I am supervised, because I do not do well on planes at all. And I'm not allowed to drive. So I can't go unsupervised. And unfortunately, the times that these things happen at are exactly during busy season. Exactly during busy season. Like West Coast Jungle Gym just happened. Andrew's in the middle of crazy work season. Games just started back up. He has to be at at the games. So for me, it's not really a doable thing unless somebody is willing to be the caretaker for an event, which is hard to find for me. So Someday I will go. Like them all dried before I get home. They are in the dryer now. Romper is outside because I did not want it with. I am also in. But yeah, like my grade, we actually had this past year, not this past year, the year we got together with Zelly when we went out to Utah. We actually did have tickets to TeddyCon. We were going to be going with Jamie, but we broke up with Jamie, therefore we didn't go. Number one, we didn't feel right still using the tickets. Even though he had already paid for them, we didn't really feel right doing it. Also, at the time, Jamie was going to be paying for the rooms and the traveling and stuff like that, so it was all taken care of. But when it came down to it and it was just us paying for it, we couldn't afford it. Also, we only had 2 tickets. Zelly did not have a ticket, and we did not feel right leaving her here for that. So yeah. But so someday we will go. Someday. Somehow it'll work out. Even if I end up somehow getting in as a vendor type of deal, we'll see. Once I'm a little bit bigger, once my health is more stabilized, and things like that. But I live vicariously through those of you that I cannot talk. But with those of you that do go. So this I need to. My dryer makes this noise and I don't know why. I'm still very confused as to why. I feel really bad that I actually hate the sketchbook because it was just like, I mean, granted, my mother-in-law didn't put money into it, but it's a horrible sketchbook. Like, hate it. Like, I probably will rip this one apart and frickin' put it in my printer because this is horrible for drawing on. This, I don't know where this came from, but it is the exact material as this. I can make stencils with this and I'm happy. But I have to take that and put it away. Hi, kitty. Snatch, come here. Snatch, come here. Hi. You coming up to say hi? Good morning, baby. Hi. Did you finally wake up? Guys, look at his dirt face. Stop doing it. Never mind. Oh my God. He's like not stuck alone. Don't have anything that is in New Zealand. Oh, that sucks. I know there is a group. We did find out. There is a group here that meets in Lawrence over at Conroy's Pub that we really need to start going to. At least starting to check it out to see what the group is like. See if it's people that we like, you know. So yeah, I would like to do that at some point. I just need to get on there and pay attention to what their meetings are, which I'm not very good at. I don't like being on FetLife, guys. And that's where, unfortunately, all these events are. Like, you have to find the information out there. So yeah, so those of you that came in just recently, I purchased a romper from Walmart, and I'm super excited about it. And it's actually outside right now, but this is what it looks like. How do you get print diapers for cheap? You don't. You don't. Crinkles are fairly cheap, but this is what my romper looks like. This is the front. It has a zipper. This is what it's looking like thus far. It is outside hanging to dry right now because I washed it with sheets, but I did not want to dry it with the sheets because I'm really hoping this didn't shrink at all. I'm hoping that it didn't shrink because I'm right at the top edge of the sizing for it. So I'm doing everything I can to make sure that it doesn't shrink up on me. Jimmy, I need to clip your nails at some point. Not necessarily today, but soon. Put that underneath there. This is my pair of pants. But for printed diapers, I mean, if you're going to get a quality diaper itself that's not printed, you're pretty much going to pay the same price as printed ones. Crinkles run about $1.90 per diaper. You can get them at North Shore for $1.14 before shipping, I think. Sometimes you can find free shipping coupons through North Shore, by the way. Snack. But it's hard to find printed ones. Also, for my size, it's hard to find printed ones that actually fit. Rears is the leading person for printed ones for me right now because ABU's sizing sucks, and Tykables is not doing XLs right now, which makes me really mad because I love the Tykables diapers. But Rears does have an XL that I just fit into. So I if I'm gonna buy a printed diaper, it's gonna probably be from Rears. Well, from Cushy Tushies. I don't purchase from the Canadian site because it's more expensive. But Cushy Tushies is awesome. I love the guy that runs Cushy Tushies. He's a very nice gentleman. He's fantastic. You guys have heard me gush about him before. But yeah, so I will be right back. I'm gonna put the garbage in the garbage and my snacks away and stuff like that. So give me 1 second. Pro snitch. And I'm gonna take this in the other room. Watch out, kitty. No, get out of the closet. I forgot about my lemonade that I had. That's all Daddy and Hannah, so that got stuck in there. This needs to go in my oven. I'll be right back with this. Oh, the dryer's on. Yeah. And one more thing, and then I'll be in there. Hey, Jimmy. All right. Now returned. Oops. Hold on, we'll get that in a little while. If you're in America, Amazon carries all the Rears products now. Yes. Oh, was what's his name from here? Was the guy from Cushy Tushies there? I think his name is Tom. One thing I have to do is get a new binky. That is getting to be a fairly important need. Just because mine is breaking. This is a lemon cucumber mint sparkling lemonade. I didn't know how this would taste, but it's interesting. It's a French soda. It's actually really good. Okay. Cushy Tushies is he was the only U.S. distributor for a while for the Rears products. He didn't run the Amazon stuff. So, as far as I know, he didn't run the Amazon stuff, but he might. But he's really cool. He's a wonderful, genuine guy. So, I'm just waiting for what diaper? The dinosaur diaper from Rears to come out in an XL. Hello, Bladder. Nice of you to wake up. I'm waiting for the dinosaur diaper from Rears to get it. You didn't? Damn. I really it's one of my AB dreams to actually go do something like that. But because of the way my little site is, I'm very little when I'm little. In social situations, I have a lot of overstimulation that happens, and I have to have a big there to bring the levels and to know, okay, you're overstimulated. We need to go lay down and cool down and chill out. I tend to not do well in crowds and social situations like that. So, especially being a YouTuber, I'm probably going to get recognized. So yeah. I don't know if you guys have heard, but YouTube is being sued by the FTC. Mostly child content type of thing. It's a big thing. Thankfully, it's not going to really affect me because my stuff is very much so not made for children. But there's a lot of people that are like the family vloggers and stuff that are going to be possibly fairly affected by it. But as of January 1st, there's going to be a lot of changes for the family vloggers that have children and stuff, especially. Yuki, fuck you. Yeah, I need to go. I still have some cleaning to do, but I need to take a moment. I needed a moment. I actually want to move these boxes for Daddy over here. That would help him out with that corner a lot. But yeah, cannot wait for my rubber to be dry. Hey, nothing much is up. I'm just kind of chilling with you guys today because I don't have a ton of energy today. I didn't sleep well. I drank alcohol last night. I'm not hungover, but I'm just tired and feeling very much like my body is drained. Even though we didn't really do much this weekend or this week at all, I'm just. Oh, you sent a picture? I mean, tomatoes rule, but I'm not sure I get what the picture. Stop looking at Reddit, Yuki. Stop it. But yeah, it's also really hot out today, which tends to affect. My body is in this weird state where I'm greatly affected by the weather when it comes to my allergies and stuff like that. So the fact that we had some cooler days, now they're hotter again. My body hates it. Fall is my favorite season, mind you guys. Partially because it's on my birthday. All three of us have our birthdays. Hannah's is in, 4 days. Right? No. Her birthday is on Thursday. So 2.5 days. Her birthday's on Thursday. And then me and Andrew both have birthdays in November. So I'm the 24th and he's the 27th. And then right after that, or right before that, is Thanksgiving. So fall is a fun season for us. Plus, it's just gorgeous. I absolutely love the fall weather. Fall is my favorite season of all time. I love it because you can wear hoodies, but it's not too cold. Because of my allergy to the cold, I hate winter because I'm pretty much stuck inside. And I hate that. But I have a very severe allergy to the cold. I cannot be outside. 5 minutes is about the max that I can be outdoors at a time in the winter. And unfortunately, we didn't realize what was going on as a kid. So I think overexposure has made it worse. Now I'm to the point where it's once November hits, I really have to start sequestering inside the house because even simply walking outside, can cause my body to break out in hives. So it's rough. The winter months are rough for me, and fall is a little bit rough. But I love just the crisp air, the beautiful colors. I love the fall. I also like winter or summer for the purpose of swimming, but that's it. And I like being outside. So I like having a semi-cool weather, like 65 to 75 is like, but so I'm really excited for that to happen because I love fall. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for the weather here to officially turn and start getting cooler. We're at 90 degrees today, which is, I mean, it's kind of typical for Kansas, but it's been a really long, hot summer. And I'm ready for it to be over. I'm ready for spring, fall. The only thing I want is to keep swimming, which makes me very sad. It costs us $5 to walk in the door every time we go swimming at our local pool, at the city pool. And a membership costs $255 a year per person. And we just can't afford that. We cannot afford that. Also, their hours are not conducive with anybody's schedule in my house, unfortunately. And I'm not allowed to swim unsupervised, which I hate. If I was allowed to swim unsupervised, I would hop on the bus, go down the road to the gym over here that has a pool, and I would swim every single day. I would do it. But I'm not allowed to swim unsupervised. So yeah, like if I were to go to the local pool, with the city pools, we have an indoor aquatic center and an outdoor aquatic center. They do have lifeguards and stuff there. But Andrew, like, that's the one thing that sends him into like heart attack mode, is thinking about me swimming by myself. I know for a fact that there's never going to be a seizure happening in the water because my seizures are anxiety based and water is my happy place. So I know that for me, swimming is not really a danger, but for him it is. He's like, just on the off chance that something goes on, I would die. And he would be devastated, He's like, no. Which I respect and I get. I don't agree, but I respect and I get. And I listen because he's daddy. But I was saying this earlier and I got distracted. I struggle with consistency. I mean, for me, I am try to be consistent, but I struggle when others are not consistent. I struggle with not knowing what is expected of me. Where Daddy a while back got some frames and he was going to write out each person's rule list. Like he had one for Zelly, one for me, and then one for like everybody. And we're going to do that eventually here. What if I have a friend or sitter? I can swim so long as somebody is with me. Somebody that knows what can go on. Like I can go swimming with Zelly. So long as I'm supervised by somebody. Or if it's like, hey, lifeguard, this person has seizures. Rarely, it probably will never happen in the water, but just on the off chance, keep an eye on this person. And I'm not a crazy swimmer, guys. I like to swim, but I'm not going to be like diving and going underwater all the time. I don't like going underwater. But I like to be in the water and treading water and swimming back and forth a bit. So I'm not a crazy person in the water, but I enjoy being in the water. It also makes my body feel so much better. Like it just feels so good. My back doesn't hurt so much. My legs don't hurt so much. Like I can use my legs really well in the water because there's not weight on them. It's just nice. But we'll see. As time goes on, if we get to the point where I'm like 6 months seizure free, that situation may change. But in the last, 2.5, 3 years since I've had seizures going on, they have not stopped for 6 months. So yes, we do need our own pool. However, we live in a townhome, but we live at an apartment complex. So the only place we could put a pool is on our back patio, and we use our back patio. So there's not really a place to do it. This complex has 2 pools. This year they only opened up one, and they just closed it. As far as I know, it's closed because there was so much rain over the course of a few days that the pool turned green and they locked it up, which I'm assuming that's it for the year for here. Because here we have the pools are open outdoor from Memorial Day to just after Labor Day. So on Labor Day, we went to go swimming and it was closed because it was green, and I'm talking green. It was like really green and gross. Like I thought about hopping in there and swimming anyway if it was open, but it wasn't open because I grew up swimming in ponds, guys. Like ponds and lakes were not a problem for me. So the only reason I wouldn't swim necessarily in a green pool is just because the chemical balance is off at that point. And because these chemicals are put in there, I don't want to swim in something that's off balance. Like I would happily go jump in the lake, but our lake has not been very swimmable this year because of the flooding. We actually had a child who died swimming in the lake this year. And that's not really something that happens. It was just because of the way the flooding happened, it was not safe, and they went swimming anyway, and they died. I was a 13-year-old boy, as far as I know. So the lake has been pretty much off limits. When I lived with my parents, we did have one of those, you inflate the ring and fill it up type of things. It's like 3 feet deep. And we loved it. I would love something like that at my place. But, maybe next year we will consider doing something like that. Because that would really help. Because then I can go swimming in the evening when they're home. And they can sit right up, or they can sit with me, or they're in the house. Doesn't matter. But going down to the pool, Andrew hates the water. He does not like swimming at all. I mean, he likes to be around the water, but he doesn't like swimming. So for him, he does not like to go down to the pool. He'll go out to the lake. He doesn't mind the lake because the lake is gorgeous. There's sand. It's beautiful. But the lake is also half an hour away. So it's just like, I'm the water bug in the family. Zelly does love to swim, and she will go with me in the evenings once she gets home because our pool doesn't close at a certain time. It's a swim at your own risk type of thing. There's no lifeguards. So she and I have gone many, many times when we used to live here a year ago. We would go in the evenings after all the kids went to bed, go swimming. But because we moved here at the end of the summer, we didn't have any swimming time. So I've gone swimming twice. No, I take that back. I've gone 3 times. And last year we literally went swimming every day, almost every day, because we used to live in the same apartment complex, but we were down the road a few houses. And we would go swimming every single night pretty much because it's really good for the body. But that just didn't work out this year. So we'll figure something out next year. I'm happy even if we just get a freaking little kiddie pool that's like this deep. Like something that I can get in the water in that I don't have to worry about I'm going to drown, or I can sit in the water and, move my body around, like having a deeper one would be great. But so long as I can just get in the water, be in the water, in my happy place, I get lots of energy from the water. It's just a good place for me all around. I'm very much an earth, like I love to sit in the ground, sit on the grass. I love to sit on the grass, love being in the water. Like I just love those elements. Ground and water are they ground me. The water is just my calming. The grass, like if I'm super anxious, sitting in the grass helps a ton. And I'll just sit there with my hands touching the grass and the dirt and everything and just like allow it to ground me. And the water is just my, for me. That's just how it is. Excuse me. My bird is out, guys. Like, I got him his new toy the other day. Well, it's not a new toy. I replaced his old toy. The exact same thing because he loves this toy. It is literally one of his favorites. It's just a little basketball hoop with a mirror. And he actually does, yes, pick it up and put the basketball hoop in the basketball. Or the basketball in the basketball hoop. He loves this toy. So I finally replaced it for him. It's been broken for like a year. I broke off the basketball hoop. I finally went and got him a new one, and I got Snitch a toy too. Snitch has very little interest in this toy, but no, Jimmy's been playing with this toy all morning. Actually, it usually takes Jimmy a long time to adjust to a new toy. Like I've had a toy in there for 6 months before he'll even touch it. He adjusts very slowly to change, except for moving. He loves moving for some odd reason. But he does not adjust well to change. But because this was the same toy, he's like, oh, okay, cool. And he plays with it. I put it in there and he immediately gave kisses to it. Like within about a minute, he was just over there giving it kisses. And he actually makes like a kissing noise. He makes kissing noises to everything now. Yeah, for me, water, if I can't swim, I'm going to hop in the shower, which is not as fun. I prefer the bathtub, but our bathtub is so shallow that it's not really doable at the moment for a bath for me because I'm heavy and the water just. But that's another reason I'm annoyed with my weight. It's like I don't fit in a standard bathtub very well. Like I fit, but it's tight. It's not comfortable. And that's another reason. Like this weight thing, I have got to figure out a way to get this weight off. And I am not a candidate for gastric bypass surgery or anything like that, even though my weight would cause me to be a candidate because of all the intestinal issues I have and whatnot. It's not an option. And it would probably destroy me. I would probably end up on a feeding tube because I couldn't get enough in me. I already don't eat most of the time. Like guys, I need to sit down and calculate it out someday because I swear I don't even eat 1,000 calories in a day unless I'm drinking my coconut water and juice, and that will give me some calories. But I think the main problem is number one, I'm not very mobile right now, and number two, I am not eating enough. So body is like hold on to everything. But it's really frustrating. And unfortunately, the side of the family that I take after is all heavy. We're all heavy, I should say. Most of them have passed at this point. We're all heavy, so it sucks. I'm like the heaviest person in our family. As far as like my mother's side of the family goes, I'm the heaviest. And currently probably the heaviest on my dad's side too, except for possibly my one aunt that is not actually related. She's related by marriage. So it's really frustrating that I'm this heavy, guys, because this is not typical for me. I have always struggled with my weight, and for most of my life I stayed around 160. So being this heavy is really upsetting to me right now. Like it wasn't that upsetting until I started really just like the weight keeps going on no matter what, and it's just like you've got to be kidding me. And next time I see my doctor, I'm definitely talking to her about it. Like, what is something that I could safely do that would help lose the weight? What can I do with dietary stuff, and what can I do exercise-wise that'll help? I know me being in physical therapy and stuff was helping immensely with the weight and stuff, keeping it at bay. I cannot afford that right now. I mean, I could if we were going to the hospital and whatnot, because I just don't pay them, but I don't think that would go on for long. It's something I need, but so I've really got to talk to my doctor about figuring out what's up with my back, what's up with my legs, why are my hips dislocating all the time? And I don't know that they're probably not actually dislocating. I don't think they actually like fully pop out of the joint, but I think that there is some muscle weakness there that's causing them to partially dislocate. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of that's actually going on. Because it's literally like it doesn't pop out, but I can feel like it moved to the side a bit. So something's going on with that. And we got to figure this out because it hinders me from doing a lot of things. If I walk a lot, my hips will pop out. If I sit in certain ways or on chairs, like if I sit on a chair, like at a restaurant or my kitchen table, they pop. They come out. Um, it's bad. I can sit in my computer chair okay because it's the full width of my butt. For about 4 hours. That's the maximum amount of time I can do it. But we got to figure out what's going on with my back and what's going on with my legs. We've got to get this weight off because God, you guys, if I get any heavier, I'm going to be out of XL diapers too, and I won't do that. I will not do that. That at that point, I would go for gastric bypass surgery. Like I'll deal with whatever comes, But Kevin, I've had, this is the thing with rears. Like you guys have heard me talk about rears before. I have had issues with the lady that owned it in Canada. I've had issues with her back when me and my business partner were working. She was very nasty to us, and was just horrible. And there have been some things said by her to me personally, some dishonesty that's gone on, which caused me to not really like her. Their products are amazing, and now that I can get them through somebody different, I can get them through Tom. I'm more okay using their products. And I don't know. I haven't talked to her in so long. I don't know. She's really nice to a lot of people in the community, but for some reason, she was just nasty to me. Which is like, I'm not a person that tries to be nasty to people. And I think what stirred is I got involved in a conversation originally when they were doing YouTube videos a lot. She did a video a very long time ago. We're talking like 5 years at this point, where she was wearing a black leather corset in her storefront. And her storefront is very much so both ABDL and child. And somebody made a comment like, that's not work appropriate at all. And she got very mad. And I said, as a woman, I kind of feel like I agree to some level. Like just because you're in a kink business, doesn't mean you have to dress kinky or dress in that way, especially when you're trying to also have family friendly store. I don't feel that attire was family friendly was my thing. She blocked the guy that originally started the conversation. And then she was just very nasty to me after that. And it's like, I was, as a business person, I don't think that's the greatest decision in the world. And I still don't. I don't think it's that way for anybody of any type of business, unless you're like running a freaking dominatrix site. Obviously, it's going to be different for that. But when you're running a store that is not just for a kink and ABDL, even though it's leaning more toward that now, it seems, at the time, it was very much geared toward, their website was geared toward children and families. And I'm like, I kind of mildly agree. I'm not one to share that much of my body with someone in the store anyway. I'm just a very cover myself person. But right after that was when I was getting involved in business with this business partner, and she made a really nasty comment about our website that just didn't need to be said. It was so rude. And it was rude because, number one, we started contacting her because we were drop shipping for different companies at the time with diapers. And we were wanting to talk to her about possibly drop shipping in the US. And the way she came at us was just horrible. And it was really sad. And, then something else went on that she never made right, in my opinion. And that kind of affected my thinking, like, okay, you promised one thing and completely didn't follow through. I was the one that put out all the money and you did not follow through with your promise on it, which was really upsetting to me at the time. And just the dealings with her, unfortunately, kind of for the longest time, really made me against supporting that company. Now that Tom is in the US and he's the face of, that company for me, where I don't have to deal directly with her, I'm okay with it. And if she ever were to, contact me and say, "Hey, yeah, let's fix this," that's one thing. But like for her to not even understand how she was in the wrong with these situations is hard for me to get past at the moment. You come and say a nasty thing about a startup company, and you're just not you are dishonest. It was really hard for me to even at first allow myself to purchase through Tom, or through Cushy Tushies. Now that it's some time has passed, I'm like, whatever it is what it is. They're also the only company out there that I can purchase from at the moment if I want a printed diaper, which is really frustrating. And that's not true. Crinkles does also have an XL in the original print. However, after using North Shore Megamaxes, I really don't like the Crinkles that much. Like using these other diapers, I can't get over the no landing zone thing. That's so frustrating to me because I do take my diaper on and off to use the toilet. So it's really hard to have to not have a landing zone for that. So I think Crinkles should go back to the landing zone, in my opinion, and then they have it much better. But for now, I really have only two places I can get diapers at the moment. I can get North Shore and I can get Rears. And that's partially my problem because I am overweight. And I do need, like, my greatest desire is to get back down to where I fit in larges. Like, that is my desire. If I can fit in a large, I will be happy. But I'll take being in an XL decent, on the lower end of the XLs even. Obviously in ABU stuff, I will probably always be an XL because theirs run very small. But back at the beginning of a year and a half ago, I could almost fit in a Tykables large. I can get back to that. And that's sad that I have to lose almost over 100 pounds to do that. Like, it's sad. It greatly saddens me that I have gotten to this state. And there are things I can do to fix that. There are things I can work on. I can figure out some exercises I can do that aren't damaging to my body. And I can figure out a diet plan that'll work, that's healthy. I refuse to go keto unless the doctor really recommends that and I do it properly. I refuse to do keto. I'm not going to go gluten-free because I don't eat that much wheat in the first place. I'm not full of carbs all the time. I have a couple of snacks, but seriously, I buy a bag of like this Chex Mix stuff and it lasts me, we're going on 2 weeks now. We're almost 2 weeks into this little bag of snacks. So it's not like I eat a ton. I have not had actual bread except for at a restaurant. And we went like a month, not even, well, yeah, at the beginning of the month we went out and I had some breadsticks. But other than that, I use mainly tortillas. Once in a while, we'll have buns. Like, I don't eat a ton of carbs. And so that's not really, I don't think, the issue. I think the issue I'm having is not proper nutrition. I'm not consuming the right amount of food for my body. I need to get my body burning more stuff so that it's using it up. There's just a lot of different things. I wish I could open my own store. I would be nice to my customers. Yes. I know with me, okay, so I do have my company. I do have the Etsy shop. There are times where I get really frustrated with customers. Like, I have one customer I'm dealing with right now who is not understanding the fact that, okay, I said he's wanted this fabric. I said, I can't get this one. Here's a list of the ones I can get right now. Okay, well, when can you get this one? I cannot get it. It has been discontinued. It is no longer available. It won't be available. And again, the question was asked, well, when is fabric gonna, when can you get this? I can't. So I do, and I shouldn't, I do get frustrated with that sometimes when a customer is very, very nasty or really, really picky and okay, I don't mind a picky customer so long as they're nice about it. But if they're picky and mean about it, no. Nope. If a customer comes to me and says, can you do this? And I'm like, no, I can't. physically do it. Like I had one customer I dealt with, we were trying to work out something. I thought hopefully I could do that, but in the long run, the ideas they had would not be something I could do. And they just kept on like, well, you could do this, you could do that. No, I cannot do what you are looking for. No, unfortunately, he had been turned down by many people, like all the first shooters. Everybody had turned him down. And I felt bad. I really wanted to be able to say, yes, I can do that for you. And I really tried. But in the long run, it was not something I could do. It's just like, no, I physically cannot handle that at the moment. And it's also logistically not going to work. And I wouldn't take no for an answer. So it was hard. I hate doing that. But, then there was this guy that you guys watched the videos and the lives when I was making those shorts, and those turned out adorable. And I probably will do something somewhat similar in the future for myself. But they turned out so cute. So cute. Kevin, if I ever have the chance to do so and I have the money to be able to do this, there's a couple of YouTubers that I really want to send some stuff to. There's 3 of you, actually. I want to do you, Kevin. I want to do Mid-America Little and Mindlessly Diapered. Like, I would love to be able to make stuff and send it to you guys. Not just for the purposes of, hey, make a video about my stuff, but because I want to share it with you. Like, you guys are some of the YouTubers I look up to and that I want to align myself with because I feel like you guys are good people. Like, those 3 channels are my go-to channels right now. And, I want to be able to say, hey, I want to give you something because I love what you're doing for the community. Also, if in the long run you do a video on it, I'm not opposed to this. I've had several people contact me, hey, you want to do this for free and I'll promote your thing? No, I can't do that. I'm too small. So when I get the chance, a lot of times what I'll do is, like, if I have the ability to do so, I'll order some extra fabric and I can slowly make something. Like, I would love to be able to do that for a couple of YouTubers that I look up to that I think would appreciate it. And, in the long run, yes, it is networking. Those of us who are in this community, it's important for us to get together and network and stuff. Like, it works. And I've started trying to do that a little bit on Instagram, just as a marketing tool, as well as just to allow my little site out more in a way. I have some ideas and some things I would love to work on if the time allows and the money allows. Like, doing my room is going to be my biggest thing right now. Getting my room set up. Oh, thank you, Kevin. Seriously, you guys are amazing. Like, I look up to you guys. Like, you guys do a great job for this community, both ABDL and Incontinent. Like, I look up to you guys so much, and I've watched pretty much every video I think that's been out, and I look forward to it. There's only a few channels that I actually have notifications turned on for, and I believe you guys are one of them. But, like, I would love to, and anytime I have the option to, I will definitely be in contact with you. Kevin, you guys grew fast. You guys grew really fast. And I know that I don't grow fast because I'm definitely not the typical ABDL YouTuber. But, like, I'm content with the way my channel is for the most part. I would like to make it a little more fun, a little more exciting, have a little bit better quality when it comes to recording. But seriously, yeah, I know, like, I was a very early subscriber of your guys, and I seriously, like, you've done amazingly well, and that's really awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I sometimes get jealous because there's been a lot of AB companies that have kind of sent stuff to people to review or something like that, and I don't have that happen very often, and it's kind of like, it's a little sad. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit there and hunt people down and say, send me free stuff so I can do a video. I would freaking love if I would get some sort of sponsorship from an AB company. Like that would be amazing. Like in a way, Kevin, like you guys aren't necessarily sponsored by them, but Rears definitely has a liking for you, which is kind of nice. Like you guys do really great reviews and updates on stuff from them. You know, I think they're fairly, in a way, they're neck and neck with Tykables, but in a way, they're going to surpass Tykables. I feel like Tykables clothing has a better fit for me and for people of our body style, but Rears has so many wonderfully cute things that Tykables is not doing. Oh, this is yummy. And I just saw, by the way, Kevin, I just saw the post for the Rears little squirt splash ones. Those look so cute. But yeah, it's important for those of us who are doing these channels for the right reasons. You know, there's a lot of AB channels out there that have gone in a downward spiral. I feel for the community. I feel like there's a few women out there who do not make a very good name for the APL community at all. Unfortunately, I've actually unsubscribed from a few of them. We are Rears heavy content. They send us a lot. They also release new stuff so fast. Yes, they do. They are really getting out there, and that's awesome. Like I am dying for the dino diaper, guys, because there's nothing my little side loves more than dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs, and I'm so excited that there's a dino diaper that I can actually wear coming out at some point. I know they're going to come out with the XL because they always do, and I'm so excited and cannot wait. And as soon as they come in, I'm freaking placing an order. I will wait. I will go a month where I only order half of what I typically do just to get those the next month. Like yes, I don't. Rears. The only thing I have a problem with is Rears prices are a little bit higher than we can typically afford, which is hard. You know that's the problem is affording when you wear for incontinence purposes. It's hard to be able to on a lower income household with heavy medical issues, and Kevin, I'm sure you understand that. Um, Affording it is hard. You know, affording anything is hard. So if we have, you know, okay, we can order this many diapers for this price, or order this many for a cheaper price. We kind of have to go with the ones that are, you know, cheaper in the long run, which is hard, and it's sad for me as a little because I want to be able to, you know, have some printed diapers for a little time. Like I don't give a shit if I'm in a white diaper all damn day, but when I'm little in really little headspace, I love the printed diapers. And this is gonna sound. I don't know if other littles are like this because I see so many of the thicker the diaper, the better. When I'm in little space, I don't want a super thick diaper. Number one, because that at that point, that's when I use it for both. Um, and the truth of the matter is, I would use it for both all the time if I didn't have to clean it up myself. It's really hard for me to clean up a messy diaper with my back the way it is and my hips dislocating all the time. But my body does a lot better if I use the diaper as opposed to the toilet. Oh, that's funny. Ah, okay. Neat. That's cool though. Like being able to you guys I love your guys's I've loved seeing your guys' progression from you guys weren't really hugely aware of the community and then you became more aware of the community and you're embracing us, you know, as a whole. You know, we all wear diapers, whether it's for need or not, we all wear them and we all have a common connection. And it drives me crazy that the incontinence community is so down on the ABDL community for the most part, because it's like, if they really understood where a lot of that was coming from, I think they'd feel different. Awesome. Awesome. But yes, for me, using the diaper causes less pain. Using the toilet is not a comfortable thing. I don't have a normal bowel. My insides have been rearranged so much that my stomach isn't even in the right place, guys. So my intestines are a mess as far as where they go. So when I know this is a little bit of TMI, but when it comes to bowel movements, sitting on that toilet and pooping, guys, I get fissures all the time, and fissures are tears in the lining of the intestine because my body hates that position. Um, yes, that's awesome. You know, Kevin, you guys, I love it. You're so fun. You make me crack up because you're just your attitude with the whole like when you're dressed in like a onesie or something. Like, you're so funny, and I love it. And you know, sometimes I might want to pick your brain because I have some questions regarding living a lifestyle and also having children because we're thinking someday we may adopt and things like that. And I'd be very interested in talking with you about that. Because to me, I'm like, okay, if we have a kid, that's out the window. But it's not. And I want to know how to do it appropriately. And I would love to talk to parents who are in the community because there are quite a few parents in the community who deal with this. So, anyway, that's another thing for another time. But yes, I love that you guys have completely embraced this community and delve, you've just dove into everything. And I absolutely love seeing that because you are very similar to me in that you became incontinent and then became aware of the community and you're using it for good. And I like to see that. You know, we are educating and showing people that incontinence and the ABDL community can commingle in a not creepy way. Like allowing society to see that we're not as creepy as people think. For the most part, there are creeps out there, guys. Don't get me wrong. There is a huge percentage of creeps out there for this, but okay, cool. I will do that. But showing the incontinence community, especially, that a lot of us are just normal people, and this is not a kink per se. I don't consider being a little a kink. The only way I consider it a kink is if it's a sexual fetish of some sort. For me, that's not what it is. For me, it's about recapturing the innocence and the childhood I missed out on. And not even just missed out on, but need to go back to a safe point in my life. Like my formative years of 1 to 3 were that's where I was the most safe. So me regressing to that point and allowing my brain to just let go is so important to me, and it's so healing. It has allowed me being in the AB community has allowed me to heal from things. There are some things that have yet to be healed yet, but that's because there's been a lot of block that out, not work on it. And that's something that I kind of have to block out until I have a professional that can help me work on it. For example, things with my father and religion and whatnot. Um, it's hard. You know, I spent a lot of time being a back when Andrew's dad and friend were in town for house remodeling while we were living there. It was really hard for me to deal with that because I remember my childhood up until I got sick of I was my dad's right hand man. He was a mechanic at one time, and anytime he would do anything on the cars run, I was right there helping him. So seeing that going on with Andrew and his dad, it sent so many flashbacks and so much anxiety and upset, and I felt horrible at the same time because it's like I shouldn't be sad and upset about this. And but it brings back a lot of rough things to remember. It brings back not only good memories, but because it brings back good memories and things have not gone well with my father, it causes this. And I had, you know, a lot of medical flashbacks, and I had about 2 to 3 weeks where it was just completely. I was having so much PTSD. It wasn't even fun. No, I did not get a new pacifier yet. That's probably not going to happen. Like my binky is still very usable, guys. It's just starting to crack along the air holes on it. And it's probably more of a want a new binky than need a new binky. But I have not. I have not had $70 to do so yet. So unfortunately, those binkies are expensive, and I'm very. This is one thing I hate about my little side. My little side is so stinking picky, or I guess I'm so stinking picky because like for me, I can't just go buy any old pacifier. I have to have very specific pacifiers, and I have a very long time that I adjust to a new item. Like even though it's going to be the same exact pacifier, and even though it's the same exact thing, it'll take me some time to adjust to it. Switching from Morpheus to Neo, my plushie. I've had Morpheus for God knows 12 years, no, 10 years now, a little over that. He's a very old plushie. He's flat as a pancake. He's matted. He stinks. And so Andrew got me a new one for Christmas. I still have not been able to go a night without Morpheus in my bed, guys. So yes, they both end up in bed with me. Morpheus is now he is a pillow and he keeps my pillow from falling down the cracks. But I have not been able to bring myself to actually put him outside of my bed. Like I want to literally put him in a toilet and retire him properly, but it has now been how long? Almost a year since I've had Neo, and I have not been able to make that step and take Morpheus out of my bed. So that's kind of how it goes with me. Like pacifier switching, like when I get a new pacifier, it's really hard for me to adjust to that because number one, I am exceedingly oral fixated. I'm always having something in my mouth. That's why I vape and why I smoked and I chew on everything and just I always have stuff in my mouth. Or I'm always touching my mouth or something. But so switching pacifiers is one of the hardest things. My easiest transition thus far is when my yes. I actually not personally, I've never met in person Mark. I've never met Marky and Connor in person, even though they live in Kansas. I've never actually like met them. But I know them. I've talked to them in voice chat on Discord and stuff, so I know them fairly well. It drives me crazy that his pacifiers are so damn expensive, but oh well. Unfortunately, he kind of has the ability to monopoly on that because he's the only one that sells those. But I do love the pacifiers that he sells from adultpacifier.com. Love them. They're, in my opinion, the best. So to me, they're worth spending $70 on them. You know, but I use pacifiers so often. And I actually haven't. This summer's been really hard for me for my pacifier because of the congestion and being sick a lot. The pacifier's been hard to use. And because I've also been in that state where I like my little side is like wall, and not allowing myself to regress. Like I pushed the binky away a lot. And while I still use it almost every day, it's not like it was. And I'm bringing that back because it's such a comfort to me. And I need to embrace it a little bit more. But it's so to me, spending the $70 every year, or every 2 years or whatever is worth it. Unfortunately, I went with the pacifier it was not the right choice. There's one very simple little thing that drives me crazy at this point with it. And I got the one that had the handle on the button. And that actually drives me nuts. But because they are sonic welded, I cannot take that off. And it's annoying. So I want to get one that doesn't have that. But Pacifiers R Us, an adult pacifier. They are a sister company. They are actually pretty much the same people. It's just one is exclusively kind of AB. The other one is also for younger, like if you have a kid that uses a pacifier for a long time, then you can go there. Parents are not as leery to go there as they are, if it's an AB thing. Something that's really interesting that I'm going to point out about a pacifier, and actually another YouTuber, mother of a girl who has autism and such, pointed this out, and it was such a good, and I never really thought of it this way before this, but she's like, okay, so children who have autism or are neurotypically different or are non-neurotypical have stims. And I kind of, in the last year and a half since Zelly moved in, have realized get off of me, bug, have realized the level of which I stim. And for me, the pacifier is a huge stim, huge, and it's not a bad stim. And talking with and watching this person's videos of her daughter, who is now 6 years old, who has autism and stuff, she allows her to use a pacifier to this day with dentist's approval. The dentist is like, this is not affecting her teeth whatsoever. Keep going. It calms her down. It's a stim. Just let her have it. And that's been my thought process for a very long time, because I was a thumb sucker for 16 years. 12 years was a constant throughout the day type of thing. I was 12 when I stopped sucking my thumb in front of everybody. I was 16 when I started sleeping without sucking, or going to sleep without sucking my thumb. Apparently, I always still ended up with it in my mouth, but it was not a conscious effort to do so. At 18, I started it again because I got sick, and I needed that comfort. And I quickly, at that point, switched to a pacifier because I was in the hospital all the time. I was not able to get up and wash my hands whenever I wanted to suck my thumb. So I ended up switching to a pacifier because it's a lot more sanitary than my thumb. And then I slowly transitioned out of not. Once I was home, I still did suck my thumb a lot, and I transitioned to that pacifier. That was the best decision, like hands down. And I've always been of the mindset that if I would rather my child sucked a pacifier till a certain age than they sucked a thumb, because the thumb is a very stiff thing to be pushing on your teeth. Thumbs are worse for your teeth than pacifiers. And for the majority of the time, from what I have heard from people whose children do use binkies long term, they're not as much of an issue as everybody thinks they are. And it saddens me that our society is like, this baby is 2, they better give up their binky. No, I'm sorry, my child can have their binky as long as they want. Yes, once they're in school and older, maybe not bringing their binky with them, because yes, they're going to get teased. But I will never tell my child you can't have a binky in bed. Now, that's my personal opinion. I think Zelly and Andrew differ slightly. But I know for me, the pacifier or the thumb is a huge thing, and I would rather a pacifier than a thumb because it's a much more pliable thing in my mouth all the time instead of a bone that's forcing my teeth out. I have the biggest overbite. I have really, messed up the shape of my top jaw, especially because of thumb sucking. So I'm very much so like, let your child have their binky. Yes, limit it to bedtime and such after a certain age, but that is a soothing sensory thing. And I feel like that's important, even for those who are not autistic or something. It's an important thing to be able to have something that just soothes you. People bite their nails. That's a soothing thing. People bite it because it's a sensory thing. So this mother is like, they call it Pins for Stims, and she has a campaign going for bringing awareness to the fact that the pacifier is not a bad thing in this case. Like, this is, it's a stim for her child. It is something that calms them. And at times, there's nothing else that will work. When I first started with my first PTSD episode, the only thing that actually stopped me from having the flashbacks and the upset and stuff was when I had my pacifier. I don't remember this situation, and I've told this story many times, where I started having my episode and they drugged me, different drugs didn't work. And I somehow indicated to my mom that my pacifier was in my bag. This was while I was in the hospital, guys. My pacifier was in my bag and to get it. And she told me that she said to the nurses, I don't agree with her using this, but I'll try it. And within 5 minutes, I was asleep, calm and asleep. And my mom, she said, I sat down and just burst into tears. Because no longer was it this, my kid is weird using this pacifier. She's like, I suddenly saw my child, my baby, the innocence that it brought. And from that point on, she didn't allow me to just use it all the time in front of everybody. She's like, I am not going to tell you not to use it. Because obviously I have seen that it helps. please keep it private. Like don't do it in front of your sisters or your dad, blah, blah, blah. She's like, that's fine. My younger sister ended up knowing very, very well that I used a pacifier and a bottle and all that at some point because her and I were so close that she would hang out in my room when I was just in a shirt and diaper and stuff. And she didn't give a shit that I used a pacifier. It took a few years before she actually really asked me about it. And it was funny because her and I made a road trip when I moved from Connecticut back to New York. I had to go back to Connecticut to finish picking up all my stuff a month later after the breakup. And she came with me. And at first, she asked me if I was okay with her asking some questions about it. And I said, heck yeah, I will tell you whatever. If I'm uncomfortable with the question, I'll let you know. And I was able to sit there with my younger sister, who had just come out of a very Christian household, mind you. And I sat to her and explained to her what it meant to me and what it was for me. And she was like, I'm really glad you've had that. She's like, I'm fine with you like that because this is a safe way for you to cope and to heal and to process. And from then on, she's been totally okay with it. To this day, she'd hop in the room if I was just in a diaper and a shirt with a binky. She would not give a shit. And I was also over time able to really show my mother what it was like for me, what it meant to me. And she's very, very, very okay with it. And so it's been a really cool journey for me. I will say that much. Unfortunately, a lot of people in my situation don't have as much luck as me. But the universe blessed me with a most wonderful mother and a most wonderful sister. I mean, I have 4 sisters, but she's the one I'm closest to. She's technically, sorry, Carissa, Denny, and Tori, but Jenna and I are close and probably could be classified as my favorite. She is the baby of the family, so she's kind of everybody's favorite. We all have a very special relationship with our little sister, and it's very different. Yuki soaked? Holy shit, did you just say that? Yuki, I don't think you've ever admitted to that before. I am wet. I am not soaked. I was very soaked when I got up this morning. This is really good. And I'm wishing right now that it wasn't so expensive. We did spend like $2 on this little 11-ounce bottle. Oh my God, this is fantastic. I love this stuff. And I like it because there is no corn syrup in it, guys. This is the wonderful thing about the special sodas from like the Italian sodas and the French sodas. There's no fucking corn syrup in this shit. It's just natural stuff. Lemon juice, actual cane sugar, actual mint. Like, this is great stuff. And we are a little more willing to purchase these every now and then because I cannot have regular sodas. So, yeah. But anyway, I have just rambled quite a bit. But if you're still here, Kevin, yes, I do look up to you guys a lot. Like, you guys have made, I've loved watching your channel. I love watching your family. Just, you guys are a big role model for me in a way. And I know it kind of started out, I was a role model for you guys, but seriously, you guys are a role model. There's very few channels that I do watch that are AB. I think I have 4. I think I am subscribed to 4. Kevin is 1, Mid-America Little, Mindlessly Diapered, and I think Blonde Boy. His stuff is just so cute. I love how innocent his channel is, you guys. As an AB content maker, like solely AB content maker, his stuff is so fun and innocent, and I love that about him. Just love it. He is just a bubble of joy. And it's really neat to see just the innocence that his channel portrays, because it's very rare that you have a good channel like that completely does the little stuff but portrays it so innocently. Mindlessly Diapered. I highly recommend y'all go check her out on YouTube. She is she's newer, but she's got some really great content, and I greatly appreciate how she's portraying women in the community, how she's not taking crap from guys. She's not changing what she does based on requests from men. I've seen that happen so much with AB girls that do YouTube, where their channel starts off great and it goes downhill. Hopefully, she never succumbs to that and she sticks with who she is now, because she's a really. I'm just starting to get into her stuff, and I followed her on Instagram and stuff, and I really like her content and her message. Um, and she seems like a really great person. So, and then Mid America Little, I love Zach. I'm dying to meet. Look, Zach is one of those people that I just really want to meet in person. He's not that far away, but I would love to be able to meet a bunch of these people in person. Like all of you guys, a bunch of the other people I know, I am dying to meet them in person. There's a group of guys that I know that live out by, like out in Pennsylvania and Delaware and stuff, and I would love to meet them so much. And I might have the chance, and that makes me sad because I want to meet people in person and have relationships and friendship, or not relationships, but friendships with people. And that is my bad because I'm a very antisocial person and I don't like to like going to the events. It makes me so nervous. Not because of the AB thing, but just because I'm nervous about people and going out. And when I go to these events, I'm very shy and I like to have daddy around. Like we have gone to the Kansas City group, I think 2, maybe 3 times now. And I was so shy. I'm so shy when it comes to my little side. If if people are around. My dryer turned off. I need to go check it. And my Dramamine is kicking in already. So, funny thing, you guys. I don't know how many of you have thought about this. I'm gonna give you a little bit more TMI. So, when it comes to drinking alcohol, there are couple of situations that happen. There's either the one where I get buzzed really quickly, really easily. Aw. Aw. Seriously, Kevin, you guys are awesome. You are a role model for this community, and we love you. But funny thing. So alcohol can go one of 2 ways for me. I can drink a beer and get buzzed really quick, or I can drink 7 beers and not get buzzed. And then a situation happens where I go to the bathroom. As soon as I go to the bathroom, if that alcohol hasn't kicked in at all, it will suddenly all hit me at once. And in those situations, I'm still buzzed for a while after that because it has started to flow through my system, it's being absorbed, and it immediately hits me. The other situation where I get buzzed fairly quickly, I also get unbuzzed very quickly. The minute I go, if I am to the point where I drank a beer, I'm getting buzzed, I drink another one, I'm still buzzed, and then I go to the bathroom. And that causes it all to just leave my system. So that was the situation yesterday. I drank. I was kind of in a good in between where I was buzzed fairly quickly off of margarita, but I didn't get drunk. But it was really sad because I'm like, good. I think somebody's home. Yeah, 1 second. Andrew's home. He might make me get off. I don't know if he's. What time is it? Oh, it is 4, isn't it? Oh, God. Okay, give me 1 second. But yes, Kevin, we adore you. I adore you. Your family is just amazing. I love you. You guys' humor is great. You guys are a role model for me. As somebody in the community, I just look up to you guys a lot, and I really appreciate what you guys do. And I think it's great that you went out this weekend and got a little bit of that recognition as well. Like that's always fun. Hang on 1 second. right, guys. So Andrew is home, and he, like I've said before, I'm just going to reiterate this. He has requested that I don't necessarily stream when he's home. So I'm going to go ahead and close it out. I will possibly be back later on this evening because he has to go back into work from the sounds of it. So I will see you. Awesome. I will see you guys all then. Kevin, thank you for stopping in. It's been a while since you've been in there, and I really, really appreciate it. And I'm going to be going and watching your video here very soon and finishing it up. And I'm so glad you guys had an awesome weekend. I am so jealous that you got to go. One day I will come to an event and I will meet you guys. That would be really fun to do. There should be like a YouTube. Never mind. We'll talk about that later. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for the last couple hours. You're awesome. Love you all and have an awesome evening, guys. Bye-bye. Yuki, I will be on Discord. Anybody who wants to be on Discord, I'll be on Discord. So see you there.